Have you ever heard someone say "I love you," those three little words that are supposed to carry so much weight, so much meaning, so much promise? It's a phrase we hear in movies, read in books, and long to experience in our own lives. We build expectations around it, associating it with warmth, security, and unwavering support. But felt nothing? An unsettling void where affection should be? A disconnect so profound it leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew about the relationship? It's a jarring experience, like a record skipping on a familiar tune, leaving you disoriented and unsure of what to expect next. The words sound beautiful, like poetry on the surface, carefully chosen and delivered with apparent sincerity. They might even be accompanied by a smile, a touch, or a gesture that seems to reinforce their authenticity. But they don't reach you. They fall flat. Like a stone dropped into a bottomless well, there's no resonance, no echo, no sense of genuine connection. It's as if they're speaking a language you no longer understand, or perhaps never truly did. Instead, they feel like a chain, a constraint, a burden you didn't ask for. The weight of expectation suddenly settles upon you, heavy and suffocating, a debt you suddenly owe, an unspoken agreement to reciprocate feelings you simply don't possess. The pressure mounts, and you find yourself trapped in a cycle of obligation and resentment. You might spend your days shrinking yourself, trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for you, suppressing your own needs and desires in an attempt to meet the expectations of someone who claims to love you, exhausted by their demands, both spoken and unspoken, drained of your energy, your passion, and your sense of self. The constant effort to maintain the facade of a loving relationship becomes a Sisyphean task, and more alone than ever, surrounded by the trappings of a relationship, yet utterly isolated in your own experience. The loneliness becomes a constant companion, a stark reminder of the emotional distance that separates you from the person who claims to love you. That "I love you" feels less like affection, less like a genuine expression of care and connection. It loses its warmth, its sincerity, its power to uplift and inspire, and more like punctuation at the end of a draining sentence. A finality, a closing statement that leaves you feeling empty and unresolved. The conversation is over, but the underlying issues remain unaddressed. We're taught love is a feeling, a powerful emotion that sweeps us off our feet and makes everything seem right in the world. We're bombarded with images of idealized romance, fairy tale endings, and effortless connection. But rarely what it looks like in action, the everyday gestures of kindness, the unwavering support during difficult times, the willingness to compromise and grow together. These are the true hallmarks of love, the tangible expressions that breathe life into the words. So we cling to words, desperately seeking validation and reassurance. We grasp at the promise of "I love you," hoping it will somehow bridge the gap between our expectations and our reality, hoping they'll become true, willing them into existence through sheer force of will. We tell ourselves that if we just believe hard enough, the feelings will eventually follow. Telling ourselves that anxiety and unease, that nagging sense that something isn't right is just a temporary hurdle, are just part of working on a relationship. That every relationship requires effort, compromise, and a willingness to overcome challenges. But there's a difference between building something together, sharing the load, and supporting each other's growth. A collaborative effort where both partners contribute equally and benefit from the shared experience, and carrying a weight that isn't yours. Bearing the sole responsibility for the relationship's success, while the other partner remains disengaged or unwilling to contribute. I remember giving everything, pouring my heart and soul into the relationship, sacrificing my own needs and desires in the hope of creating a lasting bond, hoping my love would be matched, that my efforts would be reciprocated, and that I would finally experience the kind of love I had always dreamed of, but always left depleted, empty, exhausted, and wondering why my efforts never seemed to be enough. The constant giving without receiving took its toll, leaving me feeling emotionally bankrupt. Affection felt transactional, like a business agreement where love was a commodity to be exchanged, a calculated exchange of favors and obligations, devoid of genuine warmth and spontaneity, not a gift, a freely given expression of love and appreciation offered without expectation of return, a spontaneous gesture that comes from the heart, not from a sense of obligation. Real love is meant to energize, to uplift, to inspire you to become the best version of yourself. It should fill you with a sense of joy, purpose, and belonging, not exhaust, not drain you of your energy, your passion, and your sense of self-worth. It shouldn't leave you feeling depleted, resentful, or trapped. If this emptiness resonates, if you recognize this feeling of disconnect and emotional exhaustion, please know this. Know you're not alone. Many people have experienced the pain of unrequited love, the frustration of feeling unseen and unheard, and the loneliness of being in a relationship that lacks genuine connection. That hollowness is your intuition speaking, your inner wisdom trying to guide you towards a more fulfilling path. It's a signal that something needs to change, that you deserve more than empty words and unfulfilled promises, telling you something's off, that the relationship is not serving your highest good, and that it's time to reevaluate your priorities and boundaries. It's okay to listen, to trust your instincts, and to honor your own emotional needs. You are the expert on your own experience, and your feelings are valid and important. To pause, to question, to take a step back and examine the relationship with a critical eye. To ask yourself if you are truly happy, fulfilled, and supported. This isn't about blame. It's not about assigning fault or dwelling on past mistakes. It's about taking responsibility for your own well-being and making choices that align with your values. It's about awareness, recognizing the patterns that have led you to this point, and understanding what you need to create a healthier and more fulfilling relationship in the future. The first step to finding love, real, authentic love, begins with self-love. With honoring your own worth, setting healthy boundaries, and refusing to settle for anything less than you deserve. That feels as good as it sounds. A love that nourishes your soul, empowers your spirit, and brings you genuine joy and contentment. A love that is both spoken and lived, a true reflection of the heart. We obsess over, do they love me? But the real question is, how does their love make me feel? Words are easy, but if their actions leave you anxious or small, is it really love? Sometimes the person you care for most is also your greatest source of pain. We cling to good moments, hoping they're enough, but are they? True love feels safe, peaceful, and expansive, not like a roller coaster. Ask yourself, after time with them, do you feel lighter or heavier? Your feelings are your compass. Start listening. They're telling you something important. Navigating the complexities of relationships can be challenging, and sometimes, even in what seems like a loving partnership, red flags can be hard to see. They might be subtle at first, masked by affection or promises of change. It's easy to dismiss them, hoping things will get better, but recognizing these signs early is crucial for your well-being. We make excuses, rationalizing behavior that deep down, we know isn't right. They're stressed. They don't mean it. We tell ourselves these things to avoid facing the truth, to maintain the image of the relationship we desire. But red flags are patterns. They're not isolated incidents. They're recurring behaviors that reveal a deeper issue: control, criticism, and emotional harm. These are all significant warning signs that should not be ignored. Control can look like caring. It can be disguised as concern, checking your phone, isolating you from friends and family, or getting upset when you make plans without them, expressing disapproval or jealousy. Love that isolates is not love. It's a form of manipulation. It's ownership. It's about possessing you, not cherishing you. Healthy love celebrates your independence. It encourages you to grow, to pursue your passions, and to maintain your own identity. Constant criticism, even disguised as honesty, is a subtle but damaging form of emotional abuse. Chips away at your self-esteem, eroding your confidence and sense of self-worth. You start to doubt yourself, your abilities, and your judgment, relying on their approval for even the smallest decisions. That's emotional abuse, not love. It's a systematic dismantling of your spirit. Pay attention to how they handle conflict. It reveals their true character. Do they use silence as a weapon, gaslighting, twisting your words and actions to make you question your sanity, or make you doubt your reality? Do they deny things that happened, or make you feel like you're overreacting? Healthy relationships handle conflict with respect, not manipulation. They communicate openly and honestly, seeking solutions together. Your partner should build you up, not tear you down. They should be your biggest supporter, not your harshest critic. Red flags aren't quirks, they're not just personality flaws, they're warnings, they're indicators of potentially harmful behavior. Seeing them is the first step, the bravest step you can take, to reclaiming your peace, your happiness, and your life. Trust what you see. Trust your instincts. You deserve to be in a relationship that nurtures and supports you, not one that diminishes you. Why do people manipulate? It's rarely about you. It's about their own insecurity and fear of abandonment. They control because they don't trust you'll stay by choice, so they create rules and guilt to keep you close. This doesn't excuse their actions, but it helps you see it's not your fault. Often they learned these patterns in childhood and never learned healthy attachment. Some lack empathy, seeing you as an extension of themselves. When you express your feelings, they get angry. It disrupts their narrative. You can't fix them or love them into healing. Their healing is their responsibility, not yours. Trying to change them is like pouring water into a bucket with a hole. Focus on your own boundaries and well-being. Why do we accept love that hurts? It often comes down to self-worth. If we don't believe we deserve better, we settle for less. Early experiences teach us love is conditional, something to earn. We become people pleasers, used to working for love. Trauma bonds make the cycle of pain and apology addictive. Building self-worth is essential. It's the foundation of healthy relationships. When you know your value, you recognize red flags and set boundaries. Healing begins the moment you decide you deserve more. In the journey of self-discovery and personal empowerment, there exists a tool of unparalleled significance. It's a cornerstone of self-respect, a shield against negativity, and a pathway to authentic relationships. That tool, the most powerful tool for self-worth, is the boundary. It's the invisible line that defines you, protects you, and empowers you. Boundaries aren't walls, rigid and unyielding. They are not meant to isolate or exclude. They define where you end and others begin. They are the clear markers that delineate your personal space, your emotional needs, and your values. They are the framework upon which healthy relationships are built. They're about protecting your peace, your mental well-being, and your emotional equilibrium. They are about creating a sanctuary within yourself, a space where you can thrive and flourish. Not controlling others. It's not about dictating their actions or manipulating their choices. It's about taking responsibility for your own well-being and setting limits that honor your needs. Setting boundaries starts with no, a simple word yet incredibly powerful. No to late-night calls that disrupt your sleep and drain your energy. No to disrespect, to belittling comments, and to any form of abuse that undermines your self-worth. No to invasions of privacy, to unwanted intrusions, and to violations of your personal space. You're not attacking. You're not being aggressive or confrontational. You're stating your limits. You are clearly and assertively communicating what you are willing to accept and what you are not. You can't control their reaction, their anger, their disappointment, or their attempts to guilt-trip you. Only your response. You can only control how you react to their reaction, whether you stand firm or cave in. Expect resistance, but hold firm. People who have benefited from your lack of boundaries may push back, but stay true to yourself. Every time you honor a boundary, every time you stand up for yourself, you vote for yourself. You affirm your worth, your value, and your right to be treated with respect. Think of your energy as a garden, a precious space that needs nurturing and care. Boundaries are the fence that protects it. They keep out the weeds of negativity, the pests of toxic relationships, and the harsh weather of external pressures. You decide who enters, who is granted access to your inner world, and how they behave. You set the standards for how you will be treated within your personal space. It's not about locking people out, about building impenetrable walls around your heart, but creating a safe space for yourself. A haven where you can be vulnerable, authentic, and free from judgment. From that safety you can build healthy connections, relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. Boundaries teach others how to treat you. They set the tone for your interactions and communicate your expectations. They're uncomfortable at first, both for you and for those around you, but essential for growth. They are the fertilizer that nourishes your self-esteem and allows you to flourish. Protect your peace, guard it fiercely, and defend it with unwavering resolve. It's your most valuable asset. It's the foundation upon which you build a fulfilling and meaningful life. As you move away from toxic dynamics, learn what healthy love looks like. Healthy love is appreciation, not possession. It celebrates your strengths and supports your growth. Kindness and emotional safety are the foundation. Even in conflict, there's respect. You feel safe to be vulnerable, knowing your feelings won't be used against you. Healthy love is interdependent. Two whole people choosing to share life, not needing each other to feel whole. It's shown in small, everyday actions, listening, remembering, showing up. Practice this language with friends, family, and yourself. The more you speak it, the more you attract it. Healthy love is demonstrated, not just declared. Leaving a toxic relationship can feel like failure, but it's actually success. Walking away is graduation. You've learned the lesson and are ready for the next chapter. This relationship was a course in self-worth and boundaries. By leaving, you prove your well-being matters more than staying in pain. Grieve the loss. It's real and valid. But know you've chosen peace over chaos, self-respect over self-abandonment. Every step away is a step toward rediscovering yourself. The silence will be hard at first, but soon you'll fill it with your own voice and dreams. You're not failing. You're moving into a more authentic, peaceful life. Be proud of your courage. You're not losing. You're graduating. The hardest step is the bravest, and you've taken it. The love you seek is already inside you. Your journey isn't about finding someone to complete you, but becoming whole on your own. Treat yourself with the kindness and respect you give others. Painful experiences don't break you. They break you open, revealing your strength. Let your pain become your teacher and your transformation. Promise to honor your feelings, your boundaries, and your worth. You are not defined by who loves you, but by the love you have for yourself. You are worthy of love that feels like peace and helps you grow. Don't settle for empty words. Wait for love that resonates in your soul. It exists and it's waiting for you, but it will only find you when you find it within yourself. Your new beginning starts now, because you are worthy.